I always have this weird thing whenever there's someone's name who, like, the name is a sentence, right? Like, Ben Folds something. Like, I don't know, man. There's a joke in there somewhere that I'm sure one of us, if we were smarter, we could pull out.
I'll tell you what I named the folder for this project is Scar Symmetry Folds Ben.
It's so dumb.
Anyways, from one band that sends reptilian chain letters for fun to a guy who scoffs at your conspiracy theory emails, we're going to be talking about Ben Folds, the musician, and the wanted murderer. He killed the 5 part of Ben Folds 5.
He did not kill anybody. Oh my god. No, who is... Oh my god, I'm sorry. Is it Garth Brooks who people keep accusing of burying bodies in his yard? We've talked about this.
Yeah, he's burying the bodies and Ben Folds is making them.
Ah, good times. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeff, and welcome to the Sound Judgment Podcast,
where every episode we'll be discussing all of the important musical topics, from reviews to which member of Motley Crue is the most vile.
I'm gonna judge the officials. I'm gonna judge all the judges. It's gonna take you people years to recover from all my opinions. Anyway, Christopher, so Mr. Ben Folds, not with the Ben Folds 5, as most people know. Mr. Ben Folds released his most recent solo album, What Matters Most. I think I asked you before, and you said that you don't really have a history of Ben Folds at all. Like, you know, like, the song Brick, and that's kind of...
I was gonna say, yeah.
Is that accurate?
I heard the song Brick, and it didn't exactly have me looking up more.
Yeah, okay, and I can understand that. That's what I thought. So you kind of went into this album like, I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing here.
I didn't know a whole lot of Ben Folds.
I don't got a whole lot of high hopes going into What Matters Most.
I don't know if it wasn't that. I was open. I think I was willing to find out.
Well, I mean, open and excited, I think, are two different things.
That's true.
Does that make sense? Right? Like, I'm open to go into most of what we listen to here, but there are definitely times where I just go like, all right, I guess this is what we're doing, and I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to try and be excited, I'm going to try and be optimistic, but then it just ends up, either really disappointing or whatever.
Ends up being Xenotaph.
And then it ends up being Xenotaph, which, was fine. It wasn't upsetting, but I also didn't go into, unfortunately, and I think there's some bias here that I'm going to call myself out on. I didn't go into Xenotaph excited about it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't remember the previous one in the trilogy. In fact, up until I started listening to it, I forgot that it was part of a trilogy. I wasn't super excited.
Let's be honest, you never see part two as your first, album and get excited.
Well, no, that's what I mean is, I forgot it was a part 2 until I went to go listen to it. So I didn't go into that excited at all, and then I saw that, and that kind of was a little bit of a negative push for me. However, Ben Folds, What Matters Most, I have a very long history with, which I actually kind of forget sometimes how long I've been listening to Ben Folds, because a lot of people know Ben Folds 5. One of his biggest songs is a song called Brick, and that was released under Ben Folds 5, which was naturally a 3-piece, piano rock band, right? Think like an Elton John kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who only released a few actual albums in the 90s, and then broke up, and then randomly released one more album in the 2010s. I did not know who Ben Folds was in the 90s. I did not listen to Ben Folds 5. My introduction to Ben Folds was actually when I was in high school. And I have a weird story here, just because I like these weird associations with songs, right? So when I was 16, right, I had a thing for a girl who had a boyfriend. Typical high school garbage. And I had met her boyfriend a few times. He was a super nice guy. And then there were also, other mutual friends. He was someone who, if he weren't dating the girl I had a thing for, he's someone who, dude, I'd want to be friends with you. You're so fucking cool. So I go on his MySpace page, because that was a thing back in 2005, and the song that played was a song called Landed by Ben Folds, off of his album Songs for Silverman. And that song just like really clicked with me for whatever reason. I really couldn't explain what it was. It was just one of those ones, and I'm sure there's a word for it, where you almost feel nostalgic for something, but it's not nostalgia because it's not based on a past memory.
We've talked about this.
It's a similar feeling.
And I think we've even found the word.
Yeah, I believe there's let's face it, it's going to be a German or a Brazilian Portuguese word, because they seem to have all the words for the things. So I had that. Like, it is such an intense memory for me, was sitting at the family computer and on this guy's MySpace page hearing this song. And then there was another moment within that same year where I was at a party, and it was your typical, like, parents are away for the week and everyone's gonna come over, and as per usual in high school, I was the only sober person in a house of drunk and high teenagers. Which, don't get me wrong, for the most part, I enjoyed my role as the dad of these groups. But it was stressful, and it was frustrating at times. And I have this like super intense memory of like helping this girl get up a flight of stairs, and I sit her down and I get her some water, and then the friend of mine whose house it was taking place in, I went into his room and I just like sat at his desk for a few minutes. His computer was on, and Winamp or whatever media player we were using back at that point was open to the album Songs for Silverman. So again, I put the song Landed on. And to this day, I cannot hear this song without just feeling like I'm sitting in his room again at 16 years old. It is absolutely wild to me. So Ben Folds became just like a weird fixture in my life there. Fast forward a year, and Ben Folds he did the soundtrack to a movie called Over the Hedge. Goofy animated movie, if you remember it.
I do.
Girl I was dating at the time and I saw that stupid movie in theaters. I even asked her earlier today. We think it was 4 times, which for a couple high schoolers without money, that was a lot. That's like every weekend, like that's what our money went to, was seeing this stupid movie in theaters. So go figure. So like then that was just like, okay, apparently this Ben Folds guy is someone, like the universe is telling me that I should listen to Ben Folds. So I listened to Ben Folds. Here's the deal. Here's how I see most of his albums.
Okay.
There's usually a few songs that I think are just brilliant and incredible, and I'm in love with them. And then everything else is okay.
Okay.
I think Ben Folds is a brilliant writer. He has a decent amount of output. I expect every album to have like 2 to 5 really good songs, and then everything else is take it or leave it. None of it's offensive, usually. There are some exceptions. None of it's offensive, but a lot of it's just, alright. He's doing his thing.
I wrote this while I was high, and I think it's possibly a valid opinion.
Okay.
I wrote, Ben Folds is Bare Naked Ladies for people who like snarky indie rock.
I am going to agree with that completely, with one, like, additional rule here.
Okay.
And that is accepting that Bare Naked Ladies are more than just the song One Week. Like, I think a lot of people, because I feel like if you don't know more music by them, that sounds almost like an insult.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is, because Bare Naked Ladies were among the best songwriters of that era, if you ask me.
Right.
I mean, just absolutely brilliant songwriter.
I mean, I really only know the best of, but that's how it came off to me.
Yeah, okay, honestly, I can completely agree with that. So in all fairness, like, he was part of a similar scene. I mean, you figure he was writing pop rock in the 90s. Ben Folds 5 was really not that different.
Do you think Brick is a bad introduction?
I do. I do think Brick is a bad introduction, actually. Mind you, it's, I think, most people's introduction. As far as I'm aware, it's probably his most popular song he's ever written. But I do think it's a bad introduction, especially because at that time, from what I understand, at the time when that song came out, his fan base at the time was like, dude, what the hell is this? Like, this is nothing like everything else you write. Like, that song really stands out as really kind of sappy and sentimental, which he has done more and more as he's aged. But back at that time, he was busy mostly doing like almost funny in that goofy nerdy way, again, like Bare Naked Ladies or like Third Eye Blind and Semisonic. There was a little bit of like goofy white boy nerdiness to this rock music at the time. Yeah, I think it's a fair comparison.
We can agree that Pinch Me is a better introduction than 1 Week, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if I actually were going to, like, introduce Bare Naked Ladies to somebody, 1 Week is not the song I'm going to go to. 1 Week is a fun song, but 1 Week is not a good representation of Bare Naked Ladies. I think, like, if I were to give, like, a few, it would be, like, Hello City, If I Had $1 Million, Pinch Me, maybe Tonight Is the Night I Fell Asleep at the Wheel.
Yeah.
For, like, something a little, like, really just, like, kind of amping up, like, wow, this is real goofy.
Yeah.
So, Ben Folds, at various points in his career, has done things like he did a cover of the song Bitches Ain't Shit.
Okay.
Do you know Bitches Ain't Shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard Ben Folds' cover of it? I'm assuming not.
I don't know.
So, I mean, you would know. Because it is, you know how there's that, it's like a cliche now is the problem, right? Where anyone on YouTube, there was that period of time where people were just like, oh, LOL, haha, look at me. I'm some white boy doing a gangster rap song, but I'm playing an acoustic guitar. And like, there was almost like a bit of like edgy shock value to it. Like, haha, look how mismatched this seems, right? Ben Folds did that at one point, and I think when he did it, it was probably interesting and funny and edgy and weird because it wasn't a trope, it wasn't a cliche.
Yeah.
I don't believe he is particularly proud of having done that these days because, you know, he grew the fuck up. I mean, the dude's in his 50s, right? So
right.
He grew up, he matured, he realized, like, yeah, we really thought that was funny at the time, and looking back, it's just kind of weird.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's that comes with maturity and also just like the times they are changing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ben Folds has always been a little bit of both. There's some kind of goofy, quirky, nerdy humor with a lot of like really serious sentimentality. But at the same time, even in like his really sappy, serious songs, he's not afraid to
add some wit.
He's not afraid to add some wit and some goofiness, or even some things that are like almost a little mundane sounding. I really like his style of storytelling because it's so just like, I mean, this is not an actual quote, but just like he would write a lyric that would say something like, I was wearing a blue button-down shirt. It was awfully itchy that day. Like, what a dumb, mundane statement, but that's like a hallmark of his writing style.
That's a thing in, like I said, like snarky indie rock too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not, there's like some, it's not necessarily humor, like it's not necessarily funny, but yeah, there's like a certain wit to a lot of the songs on here.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, it's, when I say humor, it's not like laugh out loud funny, right? This isn't trying to be Weird Al. But there is some wit humor to it. There is some just like there's an older song example that he wrote is called Song for the Dumped. It's a song about being broken up with. And it has the line, give me my money back. Give me my money back, you bitch. And it's just so, the first time you hear it, like, you're not expecting it, because otherwise it's this goofy pop rock song sung by this weird nerdy dude, and then all of a sudden you hear him just like almost scream, you bitch. And then they did a version of it in Japanese where he sings the lyrics in Japanese, but the phrase you bitch wasn't translated. So he's singing Japanese, then still just yells you bitch. It's that kind of humor. To pick a specific song here off of What Matters Most, there's the song Paddle Boat Breakup. Right? Do you? I'm assuming you recall this.
Oh, I have a note on that one.
Well, I think this is just a good example. The song tells the story about a couple who is out on a romantic paddle boat out onto a lake, and then for some reason the one, while they are out in the middle of the lake, decides to break up with the other one, like right there on the lake, which is just really stupid to do, because now you're stuck on a lake having to get this person back. The one line in the song is, "You must really hate me to have planned it out like this. You can get us back to shore. I'm not rowing shit." And that's one of those lines. Again, it's not laugh out loud funny, but it is witty and weird in the sense of, like, I wasn't expecting him to end this line in an otherwise weird, sad song with just, "I'm not rowing shit."
Yeah, that was one line that stuck out to me in a song that I otherwise wasn't that into.
Yeah, because it's just a weird line.
I wrote, the song about breaking up on a boat was relatable, not because anything like that has ever happened to me, but because I also felt like Ben Folds hated me because this song dragged.
It's a shame. I actually really like that song. But, I mean, but I can completely understand, like, that is very much, like, I feel like you kind of need to appreciate the scene, so to speak. Like,
Yeah.
That is a song that I did not expect you to like, right? Now, for the record, I totally listened to this before I really listened to it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of went, like, I didn't know that ahead of time.
We both went into both of this week's albums blind.
Yeah, so, but when I was listening to this one, I had the thought of, I got to Paddleboat Breakup, and I thought, I bet Chris is gonna hate this. I'm also going to assume you hated the song Fragile.
No.
Really?
It was not on my list of songs that I didn't like. I thought Clouds with Ellipsis didn't do much for me.
Okay.
And Exhausting Lover, although it had more, witty lines, was a little bit too pop for me. The lyrics kept it interesting, though. And the aforementioned Paddleboat Breakup was kind of a drag. Other than that, I was actually pleasantly surprised by enjoying, or at least thinking, most of this album was fine.
I love the fact that we have completely opposite thoughts on the song Exhausting Lover, which is probably the most standout track here. So Exhausting Lover, first off, it's one of the only 2 songs on here that are explicit lyrically.
Yes.
Exhausting Lover tells this weird story of he gets off his tour bus at, like, the hotel, and a girl, like, kind of half criticizes him, like, who the hell are you? Who's the bus for? And then he makes all these weird puns that imply they were having very intense carnal relations, but they were always done in a pun form. So the first verse ends, 3 hours later, I was banging this verse out. As in, 3 hours later, he started writing the song.
Right.
But that's not the implication. What I think is hysterical is that, lyrically, I think this song is really dumb. I did not need the mental image of 50 whatever Ben romping heartily on a hotel carpet.
I'll have to go back and check the audio. I don't believe I ever said good. I said there was some wit to it, and it was interesting. I don't believe I used the word good.
Well, okay, I guess you're right. I think I just didn't interpret that incorrectly. But either way, what I think is funny is that, like, what I was getting to was, you said, like, it didn't do anything, whereas, like, musically, I think this is probably one of the most interesting songs on the album.
No. I said that it was too pop for me. I said Clouds with Ellipsis didn't do anything for me.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, because Exhausting Lover, I think musically is really, really fun. This is a fun pop dance
it's
jam,
an over-the-top pop dance song, and that's not typically my thing.
But it also just, again, it has some of the dumbest lyrics on the album. Like the line, "Never gonna say YOLO no mo."
Yeah.
The problem is, I feel like I'm almost getting that, what's it called? Like the Stockholm Syndrome feeling, like you hear it enough and it grows on you, right? I'm getting that. Because the more I listen to the song being like, oh my god, why are the lyrics so dumb? the more I'm like, I don't know, man. I can kind of like the phrase YOLO no mo in the most ironic sense possible. And just like the way I used to say adorbs when I started saying it ironically and then it stuck in my vocabulary, I am afraid that I am going to start using the phrase never gonna say YOLO no mo. The problem is this song also has the line, "Here nerd, beat my ass in the bath like my dad did when I was a bad kid."
Yeah.
Which on its own is gross, but even worse is it just reminds me of that scene in Fight Club where she says, "I haven't been fucked like that since grade school."
Yeah, anyway,
Remember when we were talking about I think it was our top albums of last year and I mentioned Ari Lennox, who sometimes like writes really explicit lyrics that make me feel slightly uncomfortable. Yeah, this is another one.
Putting that song aside, otherwise this is a fairly nice album of primarily piano-driven singer-songwriter music about all of the things Ben Fold hates, like being famous, right-wing emails, and at least 3 different women.
So, oh my god. So for the record, he's been divorced, I want to say 4 times.
Oh no!
I'm not saying Ben Folds hates women, but I do find it funny that you mentioned that because he has been divorced numerous times. He also does write a lot of breakup songs. However, and I don't know for a fact about all of them, again, going back to the album Songs for Silverman, there is a song called Give Judy My Notice, which is also a breakup song. It is, I'm assuming, referencing the movie, is it called Saving Silverman?
I think
where a
so.
guy's married to like an overly controlling wife and her name is Judith.
Okay.
And this is obviously Judy, Songs for Silverman. Like, these are not all necessarily personal songs. He does write a lot of personal songs, which is making me wonder, probably, I think, the next most interesting song on the album, Christine from the 7th Grade. What did you think of Christine from the 7th Grade, Christopher?
I'm gonna be honest, hit a little close to home sometimes.
Yeah, as Ben Folds tends to do, to be honest with you.
I'll say it's a good song. It's a kind of sadder tone song, but it's all about him ranting about how this person he used to enjoy being around in 7th grade has become a person that most people don't enjoy being around. Sending him conspiracy theory emails that aren't fun and about reptilians.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it is a song about someone who he used to at least enjoy being with, some old friend, who, as they have now grown into adults, someone who has, drank the QAnon Kool-Aid, so to speak. There's lyrics in here referencing like how they rant about dead babies and abortions, and he even comes out and says, "Christine, are you okay?" What I always wonder when I hear songs like this is this a true story? I want to know how rooted in reality this song is. Like, I want to know if Ben had a friend in 7th grade or some other such time, like some friend when he was much younger, who he still has contact with only in the sense of they send these crazy conspiracy emails. Very similarly, there is a John Mayer song from a few years ago called Dear Marie, and it starts with the line, "Dear Marie, I'm the boy you knew," or I think it's "I'm the boy you loved when you were 16. And I really want to know if it's based on a real person. Like, I want to know if maybe the name's different, but I want to know if Marie was like some ex of John's when they were teens, and every once in a while he tries to find her online and can't because she just doesn't exist online or changed her name or whatever. So I wonder if there is in fact a Christine. Now again, we are about 20 years younger than Ben, so we are further or not as far removed from our younger friends. But so this song,
So you don't know the answer to that?
To what?
Because I did find an interview where he was talking about that song.
Oh, I did not find that, actually. Is there an answer?
The thing is that he apparently read like an op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal about all of this like depressing shit, and the woman's name was Chris, and he imagined it to be someone that he knew named Christine in 7th grade.
Okay, that's
so the
perfect,
song is
actually.
like a fantasy link between this person who wrote the article and this person that he knew, who were two different people.
That is exactly what I wanted to know, but I actually didn't bother looking. I just kind of left it thinking, because I spent a lot of time then wondering, like, I don't know, was there anyone who I was friends with back in, I would have been in 7th grade in 2001, but like, was there anyone around there who I wonder has totally jumped off the deep end? I mean, the answer is I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure they are. They're not anyone who I have any, like, even remote contact with, so I don't actually know for a fact. But interesting.
Yeah, I don't even think I was like looking up lyrics or something, and I just happened to see it and click it.
Oh, crazy! Yeah, I did not have to come across it, actually. Chris, are there any other tracks in particular that caught your attention in any way?
I mean, musically, the opener was kind of caught me off guard.
How so?
The rest of the album is kind of what I expected in terms of like a piano-driven, like singer-songwriter type thing. The opening track is kind of a bold thing to enjoy for a guy who hates King Crimson. I think the first half has like that 70s prog theatrical feel, and then the smooth jazz kicks in. It was just like a bold sounding opening in comparison to the rest of the album. Not in a bad way. It's fine.
Yeah, all right. Do you have any thoughts on Winslow Gardens? Not that I have much to say, I'm just curious.
Not really. I think by that point I was kind of like, alright, this kind of peaked.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but for some reason Winslow Gardens, even though like it's a cute song, it's a fine song. I don't love it though. But there's something about it, and if I sat down, like, I could probably do some, like, actual music analysis and find out what it is. There is something about this song that just sounds like Ben Folds to me. Like, this is the most definitive, if I had to just, like, take all of his work and mash it into a single song, this is what I imagine it sounds like. And okay. I really can't explain that any better. If you ever find yourself listening to more Ben Folds, I would love to see if you agree with that stupid statement or
not. I'm not opposed to checking out more. This wasn't bad. I didn't have the time to like go through it as many times as I want because I ended up going to like a cabin for the weekend.
Yeah, you were busy. We have lives. Believe it or not, we do other things.
Incredible. So yeah, I didn't get to do as many run-throughs of this album as I normally like to. So yeah, that song didn't particularly stick out to me. But it also was probably because it was between Back to Anonymous, a song that I like better than it, and Paddle Boat Breakup, a song I like less than it.
Okay, it's a pretty mid song.
Going back to this.
Going back to the mid. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Just because if you're interested, I could make you a playlist of like, here's what I think you should know if you want to know Ben Folds. That way you're not, I mean, because there's a lot of albums here.
Sure.
to save you some time.
Sure. Yeah, do the digging for me.
I don't need to do the digging. I could just tell you what I would listen to.
But I would have to do the digging. It's not even like you need to make a playlist. You can just list them off.
Well, I could make the playlist, but like I already could tell you what I'd put on it. I really don't have a whole lot to say. I think I think this is fairly par for the course for Ben Folds. Okay. There are a few songs on here that I really, really liked, and I'm gonna keep going back to.
Well, give me your tops and your bottoms.
Well, the ones I brought up are the ones that I kind of have the most thoughts about. Christine from the 7th grade is, in a weird way, probably my favorite song on this album.
Okay.
Exhausting Lover is one that I'm going to keep listening to because I think it's fun, and I'm going to feel slightly uncomfortable every time I listen to it for a while.
That's understandable.
And Paddle Boat Breakup, I loved. I loved this song. I know you don't, but I absolutely did.
It's fine, That's when, there's a different opinion sometimes.
And then Yeah, and then again, Winslow Gardens, even though I don't know why it stands out to me, is a song that I've probably listened to the most off of here. I really couldn't explain to you why, but I think it's adorable. I don't know.
It just hit the right chord.
Yeah, so Ben Folds, you did the thing again, where again most of the album is okay, not really offensive in any real way or anything. It's fine, it's there, but there's a few standout tracks that I'm going to keep going back to, which is typically what I do with his albums. This is, however, again, it's mid. It's an average Ben Folds album. I'm going to give it a 2 or a 3 out of 5, depending on my mood. Right now, this is the kind of music I've been digging lately. It's a 3 out of 5. But if I'm in the mood for something a bit more aggressive than this, I'd probably give it a 2.
Oh, middle of the year, middle of the road albums.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of exactly what we did, man.
It's alright, it's okay.
I'm assuming you're all just calling it like a middle of the road album.
I would probably say the same thing, probably 6 or 7 out of 10. It was fine. It wasn't bad. I would give this a halfway through the lake on a paddle boat.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Chris, what else have you been listening to?
Jeff, hold on. We gotta pause. I have possibly something that you've been looking for.
Oh no.
You asked for this. We have to see if this is what you wanted. So we have this chick here. Her name is God help me, Juliana Chahed. Okay? I'm gonna send you a little bit of what she does. Okay? Here's her recent thing is that she sings anime covers into a mic made out of an old phone. Okay? So here's an example of that. She's doing the intro to one of your favorites, Serial Experiments Lane.
Okay.
And she does other stuff. She does a lot of girl with a guitar, no gimmick things. Here's one almost at random.
Really?
Yeah. So anyways, she put out this short. No, that's not what it is. I was just doing the bit. For those of you who don't know, I sent Jeff a cover of Simple and Clean, which is a song that I joke that he loves even though he hates it.
It's from Kingdom Hearts, which I find just absolutely unbearable.
Oh, that's not the song's fault. Anyways,
it's not the song's fault. I mean, in all fairness, the song's fine.
So anyways,
but Kingdom Hearts is just atrocious.
She recently put up a short, and I want you to watch it. Also, in case you don't know, if you switch short to watch, you can just link it like a YouTube video.
Oh, I did not know that. Ooh, using the Hatsune Miku pedal in a song.
So about a year ago, I was in a guitar shop and found the Hatsune Miku guitar pedal, which is discontinued. But I brought it to a writing session, and we actually used it in a song, and it's coming out Friday, and I'm going to show you what it sounds like in the song.
X-Link is the song, which, to be blunt, I find kind of annoying, but I think is the kind of thing you might find cute. But I want to know if this qualifies as using the Miku pedal in an impressive way.
We're going to see. So the song is called Strawberry Town by Gia Pet. I guess that's what she calls herself?
I think it also
Or is that
says,
the person she's with?
Gia
Pet and Juliana Chahed is, I'm guessing, how she says her name.
Yeah, I think it's like a featured artist type thing.
Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's a short, under 2-minute long song. This is cute as shit.
I knew you would think so.
Alright, that is ridiculously cute, and I approve of the use of the Miku pedal. It is hiding in the music in there. You just kind of hear it going off, filling in space. Oh my god, that is ridiculously adorable. Also, I am glad, for the record, just in case you were worried, it is on Spotify.
Well, I'm glad you looked that up.
That's cute as shit.
So we have a winner.
A winner?
You have a winner?
A winner of what? Is this what I'm looking for?
You with the Miku pedal, yeah.
I mean, it's adorable. This is not like the virtuosity that I was looking for, but I don't think that's going to exist. But no, I think this is a beautiful use of someone actually like using that pedal for something other than just like, LOL, look how funny this video is. Like, they don't even really acknowledge that that's what it is in the song. It's just part of the music. That's perfect. That's beautiful.
Right. Fantastic. We did it.
Awesome. Chris,
Great job, everyone.
what else you been
What
listening
have
to?
we been listening to lately? My favorite segment. There's a new Church of Misery album, which is unfortunate because I think that musically you would really like them and thematically you would fucking hate them.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, they do like doom metal. It's very cool, riffy, Sabbathy kind of stuff.
Okay.
But all of their stuff is about serial killers.
Okay.
Opening track is called Beltway Sniper. Like you're gonna be
Oh my
real mad at
God.
the concept. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can tell.
that's real
Yeah.
fucking dumb. They can stop.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think musically you would really dig them, but
That's like Skinned. Do you know Skinned?
yeah, your brother loves them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like that. Them, her. I don't know if it's a group or if it's just her
Yeah.
or whatever. Actually, I think
Something
it's
you
a
would
group.
love except for the
Like-
concept.
Oh, musically they're so cool,
Yeah.
but just like every song, man. That's all they do.
Another band that I recently found out about is Black Braid, Native American black metal.
Oh,
I honestly was hoping it would be a little bit folkier, but it is very cool.
that sounds very cool.
Yeah, they just put out their second album this year.
That is very cool. I'm sorry. What are they called again?
Black Braid, and for simplicity, their albums are Black Braid and Black Braid 2.
Of course.
One word, Black Braid.
That's awesome. Oh, that's funny. Oh, very cool though.
New Baroness single came out. That slapped. Did you see all the new singles that dropped today?
Today? No.
Today.
I also wasn't looking for singles today. First off, I'm taken. Sorry. Second off, I
no.
was very busy at work, so I was not looking at singles.
Well, there's a beautiful girl who just put out a song. Her name is Alice Cooper, and it's finally her third song about Frankenstein.
I was expecting Poppy.
Poppy too, yes. Also a beautiful girl who put out her new single today.
Did she?
Yes, actually, yes.
Oh, that's funny. Just the way
She-
you started. This beautiful girl put out a new single. I really was expecting Poppy. Oh nope, I see it right now. There's Alice
yeah.
Cooper. Okay.
So actually, the new Poppy is kind of like a return to dark pop. There's like no heavy metal
cool.
like breakout
Cool,
in this
cool,
song.
okay.
So that's pretty cool. But Jeff, there's also a new Mountain Goats album that was announced with a lead single.
You know what? I saw that I saw that it exists. I did try putting that on, but I was too busy at work, so I didn't actually
Jeff,
listen to it.
guess what it is?
What do you mean? Like,
Guess
do you
what
mean,
the new Mountain Goats album is gonna be?
I don't. Is there like a joke here? I don't understand.
It's a concept album. It's a rock opera.
Oh my god! Shoot me.
No, it's it's gonna be a concept album about Jenny, the character from the song from All Hail West Texas.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm actually okay with that because, like, if that's what we're talking about, a lot of his stuff could be called a concept album
Yes.
in that sense. So never mind. I'm actually okay with that. That's I'm on board.
Yeah.
You
it's gonna be-
lost me there for a second, but it was redeemed when I kind of like realized who we're talking about and that his idea of a concept album is a little different. We're not just doing another bullshit about AI and aliens.
We're gonna find out what happens before she rolls up to your Southwestern ranch style house on her new Kawasaki.
That is one of my favorite songs
I know.
of all time. Oh my god.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's a damn shame it's literally the name of my first girlfriend from high school.
I'm so sorry.
I am too.
Okay, so Jeff, what have you been listening to? Now that I made it awkward and weird.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. She's the one who I saw over the hedge with a bunch of times. Actually. So I have
This
been
new
listening.
Baroness was good.
Well, I've been listening to. So actually, I've been listening to a lot of other Ben Folds again. You know, like listening to his newest album just made me want to go back and listen to everything else too. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to test your rant because you have a weirdly good memory for stupid things for some reason. I want to
Okay.
see if you happen to remember this.
Okay.
Do you, by any chance, remember who Emily Remler is?
Emily Remler.
She's a musician who I listen to you were involved at one point with something about her.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting you to, but it's the weirdest thing.
The name is very familiar. I remember the name Emily Remler.
She is a jazz guitar player. She died young, and she only released a few albums.
Okay.
I owned all but one.
I found the other one on Soulseek.
Yes, because the other one is like borderline impossible to find. I had never heard it, and one night I was just like randomly complaining to you about this, and you're like, "Have you tried look?" And I'm like, "It's not online anywhere. I haven't found it." And you were just like, "Give me 5 minutes," and then you were just like, "It's downloading. I'll send it to you in Dropbox in a little bit." Like, now, mind you, it's all on Spotify now, but this was long enough ago. At least, actually, I think it back. I don't think it's all on Spotify, but a lot of her stuff is on Spotify, and I have all her stuff on my phone. But I've been listening to a lot of Emily Remler. I've been a big jazz guitar kick.
Yeah.
Outside of Ben Folds. Otherwise, I have been on a big kick of theremin music.
Of course,
so,
you
of
have.
course, we've got my girl Carolina Ike, who we have talked about before with her album from last year, Theta 2048.
Any relation to David, the guy who created the Reptilians story?
No.
Because we could bring it all full circle.
No. I have been listening to mostly, actually, her name's Clara Rockmore. She was like the original, like, pick a theremin player in the world. She was the one at one point. Now she did mostly like classical music though. So like she, her recordings are with more orchestral backings, and she's playing, the lead melody of like, Dvorak pieces and whatnot. But I've been listening to a lot of that, much to the annoyance of one of my coworkers, who apparently doesn't actually hear my music from her desk, but she hears it just enough that she keeps questioning what I'm listening to.
Well, that theremin really sticks out.
Well, I guess when it has like the louder high notes, and my coworker just kept saying like,
just hear an alien abduction in the cubicle next to you.
She actually keeps thinking it's opera, and I'm like, no, like it's actually not. It's this, and then she just kind of gives me a look like, why are you like this? And then we go back to work. It's great. So I've been doing a lot of that, but the past few days especially, it's been Ben Folds, honestly. It has almost exclusively been Ben Folds.
That makes sense.
Not that it's a bad thing. It's been a good time. I don't know, but now it might have to be more of a Juliana Chahade. Gotta put Strawberry Town on repeat for a while.
Oh, god damn.
Christopher.
Jeff, I'll tell you what. This past week, I did so much driving.
Well, not what I thought you were about to say.
Drove all the way to a cabin. I'm gonna need you to take us home.
Chris, I take us home the same way every time.
I know.
I don't...
It's getting late. I want to go home.
Chris, I ain't rowing shit.
Oh, fuck.